I'm Mike Sullivan. Today we will talk about the reasons that you may be slicing your driver and a few things that you can do to straighten it out. Okay, we're back and it is springtime here in Raleigh, North Carolina. It is the end of March, so our Bermuda grass has not started to grow in yet, but we had a super busy winter of people just coming out, working on their golf games, hitting balls, doing group classes, taking lessons, everything. And boy, everyone is excited to get started and get ready for spring and get on the golf course. All right, so the big thing that comes up, if you just go down the line here and ask people, what is your number one problem in your golf game? They say it's hitting their driver, and typically, most people slice the driver. So for a right-handed golfer, the ball goes off to the right, all right? So what is causing this? In a nutshell, what causes the slice is the golfer's club face, their face, is open. So for a right-handed golfer pointing to the right, it is open relative to the path the club is swinging on. Notice I didn't say relative to like the target or the fairway or the center of the fairway. All right. So what's happening when you slice, for the most part, and this is assuming if you make center face contact, which I know is a big assumption, right? But if you make center face contact, if your club face is open relative to the path, the ball's going to slice. So the first thing we want to do when it comes to getting rid of the slice is be good at having your club face pretty much square relative to the direction you're swinging the club. So the first thing you want to do is check your grip. So when you set up to the ball, your top hand here, so for me I'm right-handed, so it's my left hand. This V between my thumb and my forefinger points back here towards my right shoulder. When I look down, I can see 1, 2, 3 knuckles on my left hand, all right, my top hand. Yeah, there's something to it as far as, is there anything else to the grip? Yes. A lot of people grip the club way too much in the palm. They use way too much grip pressure, things like that. But in general, if you look down and you see that you don't see any knuckles in that top hand, your thumb ends up straight down the top, that is an open face grip or a weak grip. And if you make a great looking golf swing, the ball's going to the right. And you probably don't make a great looking golf swing. You probably swing the club to the left to compensate for the open club face caused by the weak grip. All right, so top hand, that V points at the back shoulder, okay? Bottom hand, think of it like this. If I was gonna throw a ball back right at you, right? When I get down to the bottom, I release that ball, my palm of my right hand is gonna be pointing directly at you, the face at you. So I want, on my bottom hand, I'm gonna have my palm matching up with the direction of the club face. And that's gonna look more, let me get a little closer here, more like this. And this V, it doesn't point all the way up to my chin really, but it's kind of between my chin and in this area, right? So my top hand points here, my bottom hand, that V is pointing somewhere up in here. Or another way to say it is, if you're gonna, and I do this with people all the time, and I give them like a pitching wedge or something, and I have them set up as if they're gonna hit a ball with just their bottom hand, and they almost always put their bottom hand on with a really good rotation there, with the palm matching up with the club face. All right, so that's the first thing that we're gonna do to help us out with fixing that slice, is making sure the grip is one that if we make a good swing, the club face would be square, or even a little shut, that would be okay. Next thing we need to do, and no one ever thinks of this, is make center face contact, okay? So when you make contact in the center of the club face right here, right in the middle, okay? That ball, if your club face is open to the path, it's gonna curve to the right for a right-handed golfer. If the club is closed to the path, the ball is going to curve to the left or it's going to draw. The trouble is this, when it comes to getting feedback and figuring out, hey, what the heck's going on? Because most people who are slicing, they're also inconsistent. Some of them go left, Well, if your club face is a little bit open to the path, but you catch it on the toe and you're right-handed, the ball might go left. It might hook left. Because the more that this ball gets out on the toe, it's gonna want to hook or draw. So a right-handed golfer, if you made a perfect golf swing, catch it on the toe, it's curving left. And if you make a perfect golf swing, you catch it on the heel, it's going to the right. So center face contact is really, really important. One way to figure out how you're doing with that is to practice by spraying some foot powder on your club face when you practice. If you're going to do that, I highly recommend that you just go ahead and, like, don't cheap out, buy the better foot spray. Because a cheap foot spray, I think it's like more propellant and not enough talcum or something. You can't see it as well. So like Dr. Scholl's foot spray works really, really well. All right. So second thing is we got to make center face contact. All right. Third thing we need to do is we do need to get that club swinging so that your hula hoop here is going this way, like at the target, not going that way. Now, one thing that helps is, believe it or not, someone who corrects their club face and doesn't have that weak grip and has their club face more square, so they have their club face more square to the arc, going back here more like this instead of getting this way, so that would be open, that would be more like square. And I'm gauging how square it is based on my spine, right? So if I stand straight up here and turn back, that would be square. And as I bend, it starts to look more like this. So that's square relative to me, all right? So if a player has a weak grip and it's really easy to get the club going this way, they're just incentivized to swing out to in. So just by fixing the club face after a little while, you may go ahead and just, you may automatically improve that hula hoop, that path on the way back down. Okay, but here's a little tip to help you with it. All right, so in order for me to come out to in, you've heard of the over the top move maybe, right? That looks like this. Turn back, shoulders and arms start the downswing, and my hands, see my shoulders have opened up, I haven't unwound my hips yet, and look at where my hands are. And that club is coming to the left, okay? So if I can get the sense of keeping my back turned to the target as I start my downswing, now you can see where that club hit is. Oh, look at that, it's back more behind me here, and I can come through and hit the ball with a better swing direction, all right? Now notice how just now I said swing direction and not swing path on that last one. So here's the thing. Let's take a look, and I wish I had my flight scope out here to show you, but then again, I probably couldn't pull it off perfectly, you know, under the gun. But so take a look here. So I'm gonna swing this really, really slow, okay? So I think you could see that even in real time, that I swung the club, I hit the ball, the club continued traveling to the right a little bit. So there's no way that my swing direction was this way. So my hula hoop was actually, I overdid my correct hula hoop. I kind of swung a little bit like that, okay? But here's the thing that happens. Let's just say I hit that shot with my club going on my hula hoop perfect, directly at the target, right? Well, here's what happens. If you look at this, so that club, when it travels down my hula hoop, that club is moving downward, but you can see it's also moving this way, to the right. So if I catch a ball on the way down, my swing path will be farther right than the actual direction I swung the club. And here's where it gets you with the driver. With your driver, you tee the ball up more forward in your stance. This is the only club in the bag that's designed to be caught, to be hit from a tee and caught on the way up. Well, look at this. So when you're swinging the driver on a perfect looking swing direction, swing plane, your hula hoop looks great, and you catch the ball on the way up. Can you see which way my finger is moving now? It's moving to the left. So that's an automatic out to in path potentially. All right? So if you're, and not everyone does it this way, but another thing that you can do to help you get that slice worked out is go ahead. Look at this, I'm using my smartwatch. People are calling me. take that call later. Go ahead and tee your ball up normally, right? And I've got these alignment sticks on the ground so I know where I'm aiming. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna just ever so slightly point myself as a right-handed golfer to the right. I'm gonna close my stance just a teeny little bit. And by doing that, it makes it easier for me to actually move my swing direction a little to the right. And then if I catch the ball on the way up, the club will actually be going more towards the target. All right, hope that makes some sense. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep my club face square to my target, get a teeny bit more shut here. Now here's the thing that's kind of tough to get used to, and this is why you practice this stuff. I'm gonna feel like I'm swinging. I'm gonna swing the club as if my target is now out that way, but my club face is going to be more at my original target. And this should make it very easy, or a lot easier to hit a draw if I can pull this off, okay? Club face is square to the target. I'm getting a teeny bit left. You may not be able to tell from over there, I'm a teeny bit left, okay? And I'm gonna swing the club along my body lines, and I've got a target out to the right I'm swinging towards. So that ball started a little right, and it's drawing back a little to the left. Really good, solid drive. Now that worked out for me because I've been working on this stuff before, and luckily it worked out. What you're gonna have to do if you have a chronic issue with slicing, right, is you probably have some alignment issues as well. So first get your pre-swing fundamentals in order. Use alignment sticks. I've got an alignment stick right here on my target line and another one parallel to it, so I can know for sure that I'm lined up where I think I'm lined up. Your grip, you've got to make sure not only do you have a good grip that's going to help you be able to square the club face, but that you've gotten comfortable with it, right? The other thing I would say is don't swing out of your shoes. Really try to do this at like half speed so that you can pull off the movement that you're trying to make. Okay, so the reason that you're slicing is your club face is open relative to your path when you hit the ball. So the first thing we want to do is get you in a situation where you can get your club face square to the path, and then we want to work on making sure you can learn how to get the path going more towards the target. And the one little tip I mentioned, I didn't say a lot about it, but if you can feel like, get the sense that as you start your downswing, that backstays turn to the target, it's a lot easier to get the club working this way, as opposed to if you just go at it with your shoulders like that, it's that over the top, out to in, pull, slice type of a swing. I hope that helps. I'll see you next time.